Gus, can you speak to the level that Rodney McLeod has played to, and maybe the experience he provides and just his overall play? It seems like similar
I'm
to
sorry,
Gilmore.
I didn't catch the name. Who was it?
Rodney McLeod. It seems like him and Stephon Gilmore really. Yeah, it seems like him and Stephon Gilmore really embrace being the elder statesman in a sense, but are playing really well.
Yeah, they are. Rodney brings a great presence with us as far as leadership, a lot of wisdom on the field. I mentioned before that when he came on the field, it really calmed everything down for a lot of guys. But he's just a real good technician, a real good fundamental player, and he's got a great skill set for that position. So, yeah, we're excited how he's playing. And, Coach Wright had a big relationship with him and history with him from Philadelphia and felt strongly about him. I know when I was at Jacksonville, we looked at him, I think, during free agency. And so there's a lot of history of, liking what he's done on the field and off the field.
Mike Chappell.
Gus, the last few games, particularly this last one, the gashing runs in the run game, is that gap integrity? Is it the DBs not filling where they're supposed to? What is it?
Well, we had a couple. They did some good things against us in the run game, some uncharted looks. And, we didn't adjust to a couple formations. I think if you saw it on tape that we weren't aligned right. And I think the short yardage one, you can put that one on me. We were anticipating a quarterback sneak and we cheat our alignments down and they hit a perimeter run on us. But we still got to make it work. We didn't fit it up right. But the other things is, you're right. I think just getting alignment, when we get aligned and play fast, we do a pretty good job. But, there's a couple plays there that were uncharacteristic of what we've done in the past, and we need to get corrected. This is a repeat league, and we anticipate seeing them. So we'll put a lot of work into correcting those issues this week.
And then you've got a team this week that's going to test your run defense, right?
Yeah, they are very, very talented. We got a lot of respect for their run game. Their blocking scheme, they are who they are, but they do it extremely well. And they do some different motions and, jets and things like that to try to get you out of your gaps. And, they're trying to get vertical seams. And if they can get vertical seams with the runners that they have, they can be very effective. So we got a work cut out for us with this team.
Joel Erickson.
Hey Gus, why are you guys still using a rotation with Faison and Isaiah Rodgers? And how do you guys decide who's going in when?
Right. Well, we're going to need it both. I think it was the Denver game when Gilmore went out for 3 series. And, we've always felt like we're going to need 3 to 4 corners throughout the year. So, and there's going to be times where some guys are playing really well and some guys, maybe didn't have a great game. But, as coaching staff, we believe in them. And then we just believe that, the next opportunity they get, they got to take advantage of it. But, right now they're in rotation. I think the last couple of games, Isaiah has gotten quite a bit more reps just because of the rotation than Brandon. So, but Brandon's a good player for us. He's, done some really good things for us. And he knows there's got to be, plays that he needs to play better, just like so does Gilly and so does Isaiah. So, our challenge for our coaching staff is to keep them all playing at a high level because we're going to need them all.
Is there something Brandon needs to do a little bit differently in the run game? Just when he gets kind of one-on-one there, it feels like he's had some trouble in that spot.
Yeah, there's some things, it's tough. And that's what we're looking at with this game too, because they do attack the perimeter. So there's some things that we can help him with with all of our corners. At times we're playing some man now. And, the crack we place in man coverage versus zone is a little bit different. So we're hoping that, when we get to those situations, we are playing some man, that we can improve in that area off the crack we place.
James Boyd.
I'm good. Joel just asked mine.
All right. JJ.
Hey Gus, for the most part this season, the defense has been pretty good at preventing long scoring drives. What about this scheme and the way guys are playing in it has led to that?
Well, you're right. We were hoping that, especially that last drive, which was a long drive against us, we had some third down opportunities to get off the field, and we had some penalties. some unforced errors and maybe some foolish penalties, but I guess not so much foolish. You're going to get some calls the way we play on the perimeter. We're going to try to be aggressive, and there's going to be some holding calls. It just happen at inopportune times. But I do think overall our guys have done a good job keeping things in front of them. We've been a better tackling team each week, although it didn't show up. We went down a little bit this past week, but overall we've been a pretty good tackling team, and we've been keeping things in front of us. So, that prevents explosive plays, and it's a big part. When you get a couple in a series, the percentage of them scoring a touchdown goes way up. And that's what happened last game. I think there was a couple series, I know for sure that they had 3 explosive plays within a series. And although we've rebounded from that before this season, this game we didn't.
We'll come more here, Kevin Bowen.
Gus, to go back to the Isaiah Brandon thing for a second, do you want to continue to rotate that third corner spot, or is there something Isaiah can do to secure that spot full time?
No, Isaiah is doing a good job. He's a guy that can bring the ball back to you. Does a good job in his coverage skills, and he's done. And as far as people say, well, what is it? He just needs to get more acclimated in the system. I would say that he knows the system real well. So we just know that we're going to need all 3. And Brandon Faison has had a history of doing some very good things for us, and he will continue to do some very good things for us. So he just needs to tighten up his game and play like he's capable of playing. And in the long run, that bodes well for us as far as having 3 corners that can play at any time.
We'll go last one here, Nate Atkins.
Hey, Gus, I know that this past week, Julian Blackmon was just sort of there in case you need him. But as he works back into it, with how Rodney Thomas has played, how do you kind of anticipate, figuring out that free safety spot? Is there still room to, play a guy like Rodney Thomas, or do you kind of like having just one guy handle that spot?
Well, we'll see where Julian is this week. We want to make sure that he's fully healthy and put him in position where he can make some plays. And then, we're fortunate again to have a couple safeties there that we think very highly of. So we'll let that work out in practice and see how it goes. But, hopefully Julian comes back and is at 100% health.